Let's talk about the second wave in the underground explosion, 86 to 89. While the Big Four got magazine covers, the underground was foaming at the mouth. This era, peak chaos. New bands every week, demo tapes spreading like viruses, local scenes becoming battlefields of riff supremacy. So here's the second wave. Exodus, Bonded by Blood in 85. The Thrash Bible, violent, raw. Paul Bailoff's vocals were pure war cries.
It's called Bonded. Bonded by. Bonded by what? What? Blood!
They invented half the genre's blueprint in barely 1987. Oakland's Dark Horse. Sharper than Exodus, slicker than Slayer. Chuck Billy sounded like a pissed-off bear with rage. Overkill taking over, 1987. East Coast bruisers, faster than hell, never mainstream, always respected. Death Angel the Ultraviolence in 87. They were teenagers. They were Filipino, and better than most of their elders. Every riff on this album feels like getting tackled down a stairwell. Dark Angel, Darkness Descends, 1986. Heavier than Gravity, and drummer Gene Hoglan was a one-man apocalypse. And then there's Nuclear Assault, Game Over in 86. Urban, gritty, aggressive. Like if Anthrax grew up in a back alley with a broken bottle. But the international bands started to check in, like Sepultura out of Brazil. Beneath the Remains in 89 started the death thrash crossover. You had Kreator, Sodom, Destruction, Germany's Teutonic 3. Faster, raw, more satanic, less interested in melody. It wasn't pretty, but it sure as hell was brutal. Let's talk about the styles, attitudes, and the scenes, because thrash wasn't about image. It was about attitude. While glam bands were teasing their hair, thrashers were bleaching old denim and covering it in patches. Your vest equaled armor, high tops equal battle shoes, bear equals hydration, and circle pits were therapy. Thrash fans hated posers, and if you showed up in a Warrant shirt, you left in a headlock. Let's talk about the scenes. Bay Area, Metallica, Exodus, Testament, Death Angel. New York, Anthrax, Nuclear Assault, Carnivore. LA, you had Slayer, Dark Angel, Evil Dead. In Texas, Watchtower, Rigor Mortis. Brazil, Sepultura. In Germany, Kreator, Sodom and Destruction. Each scene had its own flavor, but the energy was unstoppable. By 1989, thrash had peaked. It was bigger than ever, but the cracks were forming. Metallica was softening. Justice for All in 88 was complex, it was clean, but it had no bass. Megadeth had lineup chaos and a rising addiction problem. Slayer was plotting their next evolution. Seasons in the Abyss would drop in 90. And Anthrax was flirting with rap. Yeah, rap.
Bass, how low can you go? Death row? What a brother know. Once again, back is the incredible rhyming.
The underground was getting faster. And the underground was getting darker. Thrash had spawned death metal. Bands like Possessed, Seven Churches, in 85 and Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness in 89 were kicking down doors. And there was hardcore crossover like DRI. Suicidal Tendencies. And it was splitting the crowd's teeth.
Stuff doesn't work out, and everything I do and everything I try, it turns out, it's like I need time.
Some say thrash died in the 90s, but it really didn't. It mutated. It went underground. It got meaner. In its influence, it's everywhere. From Pantera's groove to Deathcore's breakdowns, thrash DNA still fuels the pit. So, what's the most perfect thrash riff of the 1980s? Who was the most underrated band of the second wave? And could Rain and Blood beat every other metal album in a fistfight? You tell me. 'Cause thrash wasn't just a genre. To me, it was a war cry. It was a call to arms for the angry, for the smart, and for the rejected. It had no radio, no glam, just riffs. This was Headbangers Yearbook, Thrash Metal 1980 to 1989. Do me a favor, stay loud, stay pissed, and never trust anyone who says metal peaked in the 70s.
A Swedish group on the phone as well. New York City rockers, Anthrax. Say hello to Scott and Frank.
Hi.
Now, the band have just had their second album out called Spreading the Disease. Lovely title. And after that, you went on the road, I think, with Wasp and Black Sabbath in America.
Right, we started in New Jersey, which is sort of like hometown for us, on March 24th, supporting Wasp and Black Sabbath, and the shows went great for us. We did half a dozen dates all the way up the East Coast to Montreal, and we were really well received by a Black Sabbath audience and a Wasp audience.
Do you see any relationship between the kind of thrash metal that Anthrax are obviously into and the kind of old style of heavy metal that bands like Black Sabbath do?
Well, I do, because kids are starting to look for something new now.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're starting to look for something new, and they see, like, oh, this is the new thing that's coming out. So I'm going to start listening to this.
Also, just the underlying heaviness of the band. I mean, because my major influence was from 1974 when I first got the Paranoid album.
Right.
So it's just a case of where, I mean, Black Sabbath is something I've always listened to, and just that's where it comes from. I mean, they're the first, and we're just something new that's coming out now in 1985, 1986.
Yeah. And how are people in America reacting to that? I mean, you know, it's supposed to be very conservative these days, America. I mean, do they like the sort of thing you bad boys are into?
It's getting bigger.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting big. It's definitely where I'm.
The scene is really growing from kids with long hair and metalheads and just regular average-looking people and skinheads and punks and everybody. We've got all faces of life coming to our shows.
All right. Well, let's have a look at what Anthrax do. And this is their new video. This is Madhouse. That was Madhouse and Anthrax. And I've got Anthrax in the studio with me today, Scott and Frank from the band. Listen, let me ask you something. A lot of the so-called thrash metal scene seems to be occupied by a lot of bands who are into so-called Satanism and upside-down crosses and God knows what else. You know, I mean, what are your thoughts on that sort of thing?
It's garbage.
Oh, please.
You know, we look at it this
Spare
way.
me.
Even if you're seriously into that kind of stuff, and if someone was actually into that, it's still, I mean, what's the point of putting your views onto somebody else?
Exploiting it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason for it. I mean,
We don't write about anything like that. We try and have positive lyrics and try and have people read our lyrics and have a positive feeling after they read them and about being themselves and doing
feel
things that
good
they want
about
to
it,
do.
you know.
Great.
And just about everyday life and current events, and there's really no need to write about that kind of stuff.
Pay attention to these guys. They're talking sense. Now, I know this is your very first visit to Europe and England. You've already been playing out in Europe. What's been happening? I mean, you know, the people like you out there?
Yeah, it's
God.
real crazy shows. We started the tour in Germany on May 7th in Munich, and we went all through Germany, and then we got into Holland. And some interesting stories about Holland. We had kids who would come up on the stage, and they'd run around the stage and stage dive, and they'd fold their arms like this and run around. And we were wondering, well, what are they doing? You know?
Like in the video,
Just like in
right?
the video.
Right, so we asked them afterwards, and then they told us that they had seen the video on Sky Channel. So it was sort of like, we were like, wow, great. You
Yeah,
know,
we have to
didn't
see
know
this thing.
anyone seen the
Where is
video.
the station? You know, that's.
So that was really a laugh to see that. You know, it was great. I mean, just running and diving into the crowd. Their arms falling. A couple of kids, probably got hurt and some bloody noses and blackened eyes, but they were
All
having
right.
a good time.
Well, I'm going to get my very first taste of Anthrax tonight because I know you're actually making your London debut at the Hammersmith Palais. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah,
Very much
definitely.
so.
I hear the show's already sold out. Is that right?
I hope so. You know,
hope so.
I haven't actually heard that it's been sold out, but from what I've been told, they expect a very good crowd.
All right.
Being that it's our first show here and it's our only show until we come back in the
All
autumn,
right.
so.
All right. Well, look, I wish you a lot of success in the future. Come back and see
Thank
us
you.
when next you play.
Oh, anytime,
Thanks very
man.
much to Scott and Frank from
Thank you.
Anthrax. Now, next on the show, we've got a video by Bon Jovi. They've got a new album about to come out, but this is one of their older tracks. This is called In and Out of Love.